was born in Donetsk, then I moved to Kyiv, and then because the war started, I had to move to Germany, where I spent 6 months, and then I applied to the program called UWC, and I got a scholarship, and I moved to Armenia for 2 years, where I was studying international baccalaureate. Actually, here I'm studying visual arts, theater, math, Spanish, and ESS, environmental studies. In the future, in university, I applied for the television digital production program, and I'm going to study in US. So when I was in Donetsk, I spent there not that much time, I would say. I don't really remember details, but I know that I was very passionate about sports at that time. I was doing a lot of, I was doing ice skating, I was doing acrobatics, and that's when I started learning English. And in my school, we had a very creative school, and we were doing a lot of art projects in our class because of our teacher. So I think that's when I started to be very interested in like events or like organizing things, because we had like small celebrations, which I was very interested in. I was also helping with organizing them. So when I came to Kyiv, I didn't really realize what happened. So I would say I just went with the flow. I just went to a new school, and I started trying to adjust somehow. I don't know, I don't really remember like details how I was doing it, but I think I was using my similar interests with like people in the school. Like I was doing art, and there I joined people who were doing art, and I was like, yeah, let's do art together, let's draw. Okay, after I started studying at UWC, I think I realized some things, because I was very focused on extracurricular activities, and I was doing academics, but it wasn't my main interest. And I think that I would actually balance it a bit more, and I would focus on other subjects which are mandatory in universities or colleges. So it would be easier for me to do it in the future, because there's not that much time to start everything from scratch. Yeah. And in the previous school, I was actually I was doing only languages, and I was doing some subjects, and I wish I was doing others too. So now it would be easier for me. Okay, I finished my 9th grade, and then that's when the war started. And I would say everything was, so I didn't know what I should do. And it was a very spontaneous decision, and we talked with my parents about it, to go to Germany to be able to continue my education online or in Germany. So it was my 10th grade when I was studying online, and I would say the hardest part in my life being in Germany alone, because I didn't know German. I didn't know anyone there. I couldn't really communicate. I was going to the German school, which was a very nice school, but I couldn't understand anything there. So I was going to chemistry, to physics classes, to math, but I understood nothing because of the language. But I was learning it very intensively. Yeah, and I was also doing a lot of acrobatics, because that was my safe environment. I was spending there like 4 hours a day. I was doing different activity there, the whole team. So that was a highlight of German experience, and that's how I started to be very interested in sport in a different way. And later I will take this experience to UWC, and I opened the gymnastic class, like gymnastic club for people here to learn how to do acrobatics and gymnastics and everything. One of the advices I want to give to Ukrainians in terms of how they can continue their education is to use the resources we have and opportunities we have in terms of programs such as Flex, UWC, UGS, which are able to give you scholarships, to give you experience, which can actually help you to develop your interests and actually do things you really like. So you should use it. It's just application, it's how it starts, and even if you are getting rejected, it's fine. I applied 3 times for Flex and I was rejected, and then applied to other programs. And it's also about the community you're getting in. It's all passionate people who want to change the world, want to work on projects, and I think it's something very important. And also learn English. That is very useful. Learn other languages because they open like a very huge opportunities where you can work with people around the world, and also being a part of project companies and just clubs where you can talk to people to improve your skills and maybe create something you want to create in terms of art or education or any area of knowledge you can think about. Yeah, in terms of Germany, people were very friendly. My classmates were actually amazing. They were inviting me to participate in different activities and clubs, and I could communicate only because of English, because and I would say not everyone can speak English. So it was, you use gestures, you use other languages in combined just to be able to speak. And I was doing Duolingo. I was downloading apps to improve German. And I also was ready to embarrass myself, because for sure I will not get the word correctly. I was trying to say something, it was wrong, people were laughing, but I was like, yeah, okay, people are laughing, but it's fine. I'm getting the word, I'm getting the sentence. And see, because I was putting myself in these kind of situations, I was able to memorize the language, and then later I was able to at least catch the words. It took me a long time. I don't know how long, but I think only when it was like 5th month there, I was able to maybe catch some words, but it still was hard. I still cannot speak German. But yes, and people were nice, but also they cannot accept you as one of them. It was the hard part. They're friendly, but they're not going to spend time as your like real friends in Ukraine, which was completely understandable. That's why I was just focusing on things I liked. So I was doing gymnastics, where you don't really need to have a lot of German. You don't really need to know the language. So I applied to UWC earlier, before the war, and I was doing the selection process with interviews and applications and everything. And I didn't know the results, and I just remember it was the week where I already stayed for a long time and I was not able to stay in Germany longer. So my parents were like, okay, you have 1 week to decide if you want to come back to Ukraine or you're going to stay in Germany for like kind of longer to get into university and pass all the exams. And I didn't know what to do because it was very scary which path I should take. And that's the day I got the acceptance letter from UWC, where they gave me scholarship and a place in one of the United World Colleges in Diligent. Yeah, so when I came to Armenia, it was there are people from 80 countries from all over the world. The good thing was they all speak English. And I was able to communicate and make friends. And what I like about UWC is that there are people who have ideas, who want to work and create projects. That was very, very inspiring. And they're also able to share cultures. So it took time to adapt to so many people from different cultural backgrounds, different life stories. But it was very interesting process. It wasn't scary. It wasn't something I was scared of, I was actually enjoying it so much because I learned, like, in the first month, I learned so many things. I learned about the world and everything. So I would say it didn't take me that much time to adapt to this place. I would say it's challenging every time. There's no way you can avoid this part. I think the most important is to be as open as possible to new things, to a new place, and don't be scared to try something you have never tried before. Also, in terms of people, even if you don't know the language, there are so many things you can communicate and explore different things with people. So I would say just be open-minded and try to challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone as much as you can, because that's the time when you understand that, okay, I like this. I never did before, but I like this, and I want to talk to this person, even if it's this person is from another part of the world. Just push yourself as much as you can to kind of create a base for the things you want to do in the future in every place you are. So in Germany, everyone can ride a bike. This is something which kids, like 5 years old, they're so professional, and I didn't know how to do it. But at the same time, my school was quite far, so I had to walk 1 hour to get to school. So at one point I was like, okay, I need to learn. And I didn't really know the rules, like how to use the roads, what to do. And I just know that one day I was riding a bike, and first time I just bumped into the tree in front of everyone, in front of kids who were 5 years old. They're laughing. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm good. And then I continue riding a bike, and there is a very old, not old, but person who just stops in front of me and starts screaming at me in German. I know some words, so I could understand the context. How terrible I am for breaking the rules, for bumping into trees, for everything. That I don't know the language and I'm living in the country. So it was a very intense morning for me, because I was so lost. I was like, wow, what I did. And it was also embarrassing because there were a lot of people around, my classmates, who saw it, and I didn't know what to do because it was actually very embarrassing. But then after, it was kind of a lesson that despite all the things, and I had a lot of stories like this in Germany, because I didn't understand the language, I didn't know people, I didn't follow the rules, and that because of these kind of situations, you're able to kind of get used to them a bit, and then when something else comes in, even worse, more embarrassing, you're taken only. It doesn't make you feel bad. You just laugh from it, and then you move on. And it's very helpful, because every time you do something like that, you get used to it, and you don't pay that much attention. You don't take it personal, and that helps you to move on to other things in terms of everything. So yeah. As a part of UWC, it is a school, is really 18 schools around the world, and we have a really huge community, and most of students are going to US because we have specific scholarship which you're gonna get for sure, just because you're part of UWC, and also because we're studying the kind of American, I would say, curriculum, and that's why it was very natural to apply to US, because there's so many benefits just because you're a UWC student, and also because I think I was very interested in art, and I did visual art and theater here in the college, And that's why I found a university which I was very interested in. And they had lots of opportunities in US to then in the future can apply the skills you have. So in terms of expectations of my education in US, I would say I'm planning to study television digital production, and I applied to university which even have their own channel where you can actually work there. So they also have exchange programs, and I think I'm just excited to first of all explore the new place which I have never been before, and meet new people, because every time you move to a new place you meet new people who have same interests and you can experiment with these interests. And I think after getting like skills and knowledge here in the college, I want to transfer them to a new place to see how they're gonna develop and work after having like the base of them here. Because I've been in so many places, yeah, I have studied and traveled a lot. I think that I have learned a lot of new things in terms of different perspectives, different educational systems, different people, culture, how people live, how they approach things. And that gave me a lot of knowledge, because it's like you don't just read about it, it's actually like practical. You live in the country, you explore it. And I think because in the beginning I was moving a lot, when I came to the international college and I got so many knowledge about other countries, it was easier for me to adapt, to understand the amount of things happening in the world, like a lot of other conflicts, a lot of which I personally never heard about issues which people face in other countries. So it gives a broader overview about the world, and I think a bit make my dreams and goals like broader, because like I was able to combine all this knowledge from each country, all the experience from each country, each embarrassing moment from the country, to be able to implement them even in arts, in my exhibition, in my theater performance, into everything, and create something which I will be able to deliver to more people in the world, because I will consider a lot of things which are coming from different countries, cultures, and just people and characters of them. So yeah. Okay, the first thing which actually changed my life is apply to programs, participate in programs. Even if you know nothing about the area the project is happening in, go for it. It's very helpful. It can change everything. It can give you a huge opportunity. Even now, I'm continuing to apply to summer programs, to different projects, even if they're online, like everything, I'm still doing it because it allows to learn new things. And it's a very fun way to learn, because it's not, you're just not reading or anything, you're just talking to people, you're exploring, and it's make you know more things. The second one, collaborate with people, because sometimes it's easier to create something which are very high quality and which is going to have a very huge impact on people. I do it in terms of art. I collaborate with people in theater or in art, in other projects, because we have like our strengths, and when we combine it together, it creates something new, something very cool. And it's also allows to experiment, because we all come from like, we have different ideas, just collect them together and create something new. The third thing is, I think, don't be afraid to ask teachers for help, because I was very scared to ask questions and everything because I was scared I would be judged for not listening or something like that. Actually do there, if it's a nice teacher, a professional teacher, they would always be there for you. They will be interested in your understanding, your success, and take you, improve your skills. Right now, that's what I'm doing with English. I have an exam and I just ask teacher to help me, and we have a very nice conversations, and it just helps. Yeah. It's not only teachers, maybe just adults or people who are working, who are professional, know what they're doing. Oh, the first advice is to learn languages, as many as you can. Start from English. It opens a lot of opportunities, and what come back to my first advice, it allows you to apply to a lot of programs, and also other languages, Spanish, German, everything. The next advice is to learn not only languages but also cultures. Explore the world, explore how the world works, how other cultures work, also in terms of food and everything. It actually helps to extend your knowledge about the world. And of course, learn languages. It's very important. It allows to apply to different programs and do projects and lots of different things. And I think the last advice is to use the resources in the internet, like artificial intelligence, courses which are free online, which give you skills. There's actually a lot of things we're not using, which are very helpful for students, and they're free. Just do it, just watch YouTube videos, and learn as many things as you can. So lecture is going to be easier for you to focus on your interest and create something, collecting all of these parts together. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful and inspiring, and please don't be scared to try new things. Apply to as many programs as you can, learn languages, and just do things you like, and explore new things, explore the world, explore the opportunities you have, and you will be able to do well in so many things. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.